It all comes down to commitment. What you commit to, you will succeed in. And so when you set a goal for yourself and you commit, but it's just half-ass effort, well, don't be surprised when you fail yourself over and over again. The same way you've committed to being addicted to porn, the same way you've committed to being addicted to vape, the same way you've committed to being addicted to weed when you had your last $20 and you spent it on 2 G's to smoke in one day. The way you commit to being a failure, if you can revert and invert that to winning and commit to winning, well, you'll be a winner. And so most of you guys compound backwards and proliferate into the trash can as you waste the one life you have, committing yourself to nothing but failure. And so what you have to understand is what you commit to and concentrate on and focus will amplify within your life. And so most of you guys are committed to remaining a low-level, deteriorating piece of shit through space and time. You're committed to Pornhub, you're committed to vape, you're committed to weed, but you're not committed to actually looking in the fucking mirror and realizing you're gonna die a bitch if you don't do some shit to change. Your entire life is going to be this insufferable loop of escapism because you are too petty of a indolent bitch pussy to actually do some shit to change. And so what you commit to is going to proliferate and is what you're going to experience. You commit to excellence, well, your reality is going to reflect such, but it begins within you. Your internal state is going to reflect the outer reality. Everyone is in their individual state of consciousness. You walk around with a realm in your skull, and this realm in your skull is going to overlay the experience of existence of what you have. Everyone is in the physical realm, yes, but you have to understand that within your mind, the way you conceive reality is filtered to you. But the problem is people filter reality and conform to match narratives of people which they believe is how they should be perceived. This means that you no longer have your power. You have to understand that the power is within your perception. The power is what you receive. What you receive is what you're going to experience. And so most of you guys will go your entire life conforming and playing out other people's narrative as this fucking circus clown charade bitch. You have to understand that the power is truly within you. And every time you conform is every time you give it up to someone else. Especially when these people do not care enough about you to take full responsibility over your life. You have to understand that you are scared of opinions. You are committed to being a lousy fuck, conforming to people's opinion because you're scared of what they'll think about you. You're scared about how they'll feel about you. That shit is fucking pathetic, because you have to understand that if you were in a hospital and you had to pay off $20,000 of bills, well, trust me when I say this, they're not gonna fucking pay it. And so you are worried about people who wouldn't even pay off your hospital bill. You're worried about people who don't pay your fucking bills. If your phone bill ran out and you had no data, but you needed cellular data to navigate the space at a more optimal degree, these people wouldn't pay your fucking bill. Yet you conform to them like they're your god. This is why you will remain underneath them. If you have to conform and shrink yourself to match the narrative of other people, you're basically saying you're an inferior coward, and you believe that you are worth to be malleable and to conform to their perception. It's fucking pathetic. And so the first thing you have to do is understand what you're committed to. If you understand that you've been committed to garbage, if you understand you've been committed to weed addiction, porn addiction, well, then you have to understand that the moment you realize you're committed to failure, you can actually maneuver the space with actual intention to grow instead of repulse anything of beauty from your life. You have to understand that the moment you commit to being better and you actually go through with it and commit to it like how you were committed to the porn addiction, you'll realize that you'll actually begin to win. The same way you win every night to beat your dick is the same way you'll win when you commit to actually winning in life. The same way you've committed to remaining a low-level, stagnating, ridiculous, floundering fucking fish bitch to be aware of a massive concoction of this accumulation of constant failure, the perpetuation of a porn addiction, perpetuation of a vape, weed, and whatever the fuck you do to remain a low-level, stagnant bitch. You have to understand that the same way you committed to that, you can commit to something more. When you commit to something more and you actually reverse the fact you're a bitch, you can actually do some shit to change and proliferate your existence to higher qualities of experience. Before you experience higher quality within the external, you need to experience internal internally. Most of you guys lack the fact that you perceive reality from your brain, so reality is filtered through your lens. If your lens is full of shit and vomit and cum, well, how the fuck are you going to perceive reality with any sense? Most of you guys live in a state of nonsense. When you jerk off the porn, when you hit the vape, that is nonsense. What sense is this doing for you? What this is, it's called escapism. The reason you're escaping is because you know you're committed to being a failure. So the first step is to realize what you're committed to. The second step is to commit to something more by overcoming what you've been committed to. This is the friction point. This is where you garner the strength to push and empower yourself beyond the limitations of addiction, beyond the limitations of being an insufferable piece of shit. And this is where you surf the waves into the higher realms of your character. This is where you no longer go through time as a retrograde individual, but you retrospect and introspect on how you can improve. This is called the overcoming phase. You have to understand that if you're in this phase for longer than 1 to 3 months, you're fucking failure. When you overcome this phase, now you are in the state of constant compounding. So when you enter the state of constant compounding, your success will be inevitable because you will commit to your growth like how you committed to being addicted to porn, and you will see that you will proliferate and your quality of character will rise. And as you grow in character and internally cultivate a higher sense of self through the higher qualities of what you cultivate through the higher quality habits, instead of boredom, instead of being a negative bitch, instead of doing everything that deconstructs you as an individual, you begin to wake up with some intention. This intention is what is going to change your life for the rest of your life. The moment you commit to growth, and the moment you commit to choosing excellence, the moment you commit to overcoming your addiction, the moment you commit to the habits which are going to get you to the individual you need to become to reflect a higher quality reality, because you're the higher quality character in a higher quality brain, you have to understand that you exist within a realm. And before you even exist within the external world in the outer dimension, you have to understand that you exist within an internal dimension. This is why everyone has different fucking perspectives. It's because everyone has a different realm within their head. Within their mind, there is a realm. Your mind is your realm. Most of you guys exist in shitty realms, and most of you guys will never become a sovereign, a emperor, one to appoint his will and anoint himself to completing and accomplishing the task. It's very fucking simple. Will you become sovereign in essence, and will you maneuver space and time with the intention to grow your realm, to cultivate a higher quality of life for yourself through becoming the higher quality? Or will you remain stagnating in this pollution of an existence as the realm between your fucking two ears collapses and decays as you stagnate through time? It's very fucking simple. Every Pornhub video is a compoundment in the fucking trash. Every vape hit is a compounding in the trash. Every time you buy weed, compounding in the trash. Every time you lack discipline, every time you lack resilience, every time you let go of your emotions, every time you give up and fail yourself, you are compounding in the trash. And so what you have to understand is every time you do the opposite, you are nullifying the negativity and you are proliferating in quality. And so it's very fucking simple, and I leave it up to you. But the notation to take from this video is that you have a realm in between your shoulder, in between your two ears, and the longer you neglect the fact that you're a low-level piece of shit committed to being a bitch, is the longer you will stagnate and decay through time. But the faster you can realize that you've been committed to porn, vape, and weed, is the faster you can actually change. And if you're in the changing process, in the transformation process of overcoming yourself for longer than 1 to 3 months, you are going to die a bitch. You are a failure and rendered inferior because you have succumbed to what kept you a low-level piece of shit. You have broke. You are a low-level garbage piece of shit, inhumane bitch, and you did not love yourself enough to overcome what kept you in the porn addiction, that kept you in the vape addiction, and that kept you avoiding the fact, to void the fact you have no purpose. Because when you have no purpose, your purpose is now to escape. You can't escape, bitch. This shit is either overcome it and go through what you need to go to change, or you will suffer in your inadequacy as you deprive yourself more and more, as you leave yourself emptier than before, escaping through sensation because your internal world wasn't higher quality enough to cultivate a higher quality realm for you to exist in internally. And so remember, the key notation to take away from this video is you will die a low-level quality piece of shit if you don't change, and you will have to exist as something you don't want to be because you wanted the higher quality until it was time to become higher quality. And so your character is going to reflect your reality. Give a fuck what you think, because the realm between your two fucking ears is what's going to dictate and shape the outer experience. And so your world is going to be shit as long as you are shit. And so what is the key message? Don't be shit. Peace!